Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Humdrum, adjective and noun. Dull and lacking excitement. Tedious, boring. Dull, monotony, sameness. Naive, adjective, naively, naiveness. Lacking worldly experience and understanding. Artless, not sophisticated. Guileless, ingenuous, simple, not having been exposed previously to an antigen. They see defense and defense expenditure as inviolate, separate from the prosaic and humdrum problems of every day. This brings me back to the facts of life, to the humdrum realities of economics and politics. But if you are already in a relationship, you can rescue it from its humdrum routine. They get accustomed to humdrum research and will create more when their current assignment runs dry. A significant number of strange, out-of-left-field kinds of things have colored my otherwise humdrum life. Without the political hoopla and the anticipation of waiting to hear the results, the day is a bit humdrum. The humdrum of the day escalates to guilt because my list of duties is never completed. He took unabashed delight in the opportunity to escape the humdrum of the city and venture off to some distant part of the world. In a year that unfolded amid wild fraud claims, the reports from election officials were strikingly humdrum. The blood that flows between us must be kept hidden in its treasure box, in the magic passages where a flying carpet would be humdrum. Nothing is for free, and those who believe that there exists a completely smooth and generally acceptable way to homogenize the groups are naive. I just think your view of the use of gold, silver, a little idealistic and naive. I consider the view that government has our best interests at heart naive. It can be dangerous and naive to openly criticize governments as being too extreme or too violent. I'm not old enough nor naive enough to pretend that drinking hasn't always been a problem. They've made a lot of ambitious promises, many of which were maybe naive in terms of how hard they are to implement. It is quite naive not to see this technology from the perspective of the owners of power plants. For HPV, they induce a much greater immune response than natural infection, conferring almost 100% protection against their target viruses in naive patients, and they are neither infectious nor oncogenic. It is not the theory of a naive conception of language, but the naive use of language that binds. Part of what you are touching on right now is the concept of naive misogyny, which you discuss extensively in your book. I remember as an intern thinking naively that with our vast medical knowledge about how to treat diabetes, all diabetics should have identical outcomes. I began to realize how I was seeing everything through the rose-colored glasses of ignorance and naiveness.